welcome back, guys, to the GSL Super Tournament. I am Wolf, and next up we have TheBest versus Min. I saw someone put up a sign, I don't know what it said. But we've got TheBest versus Min coming up next here, and some of you guys, I think that TheBest is going to get crushed by Min, and you know, you're not alone. I actually kind of think that may be the case as well. Last time we saw these guys play against each other, that was the case. And TheBest has been improving a lot, though, and he said in his interviews, I know I've lost a lot of fans. I know a lot of you think that I'm kind of in a slump, but I've been improving lately, and I want to show that. I want to show you guys some good games. So he really wants to win this game. Now, remember, because last time they met each other, they were in the round of 32 in Code A, TheBest got knocked out of Code A by Min. So he wants to get his revenge. He's made that very clear in interviews, and based on the banter in chat, I mean, it's not like a very vengeful type of thing. He's not like, I hate you, you know, I'm not going to say good luck to you in the chat and stuff like that. I was reading the chat a little bit in the lobby, but, you know, he definitely wants to get his revenge. He wants to get his honor back. So we're going to take a look at our players now. All right, there's TheBest himself. Rank is 33rd, and that's a lot better than some of the ranks you guys have seen for certain players who may be better than TheBest, but that sounds so funny to say. But TheBest actually has a lot of results. He played well in the past. Of course, he was in Code S for 2 seasons, and then, of course, fell out of Code A last season. So he's currently in Code B. He's going to have to try to requalify. And he defeated Jejun and Trickster in order to get here. There's a shot of TheBest now. Remember, like some of the other players we've seen who aren't in Code A, if he loses here, you might not see him again for a while. I mean, of course, there's always the Team League, but requalifying is a daunting task. It's so daunting, it's almost impossible to qualify. It's not like the old qualifiers for the open seasons where you've got, you know, there's a lot of players in there, but the game's very new, people are figuring stuff out, and then there are just some clear, better players. There are only 32 players this time get to qualify. Not even that many, actually, less than that, so... And everyone's really good. You've got players like Dongray Goose trying to get in there. Some Slayers players haven't even qualified yet. Alright, here's Slayer's Ben. His ranking is 73rd. Of course, he's currently in Code A. Didn't quite make it. I think he lost to Violet in the up and down matches, if I remember correctly, so... didn't make it into Code S, but... He's going to be in Code A next season, and he defeated July, actually, to get here, so that's pretty impressive. Also 2-0 Genius, with some good decision-making, some good burrowed roaches, and then Mutalis transitions. There he is. Saw him running around today around the studio. He looked really happy. All the Slayers guys just hang out with each other, and they're really nice, and Slayers men no exception, of course. He is making a bunch of jokes and stuff, and I didn't really ask him what he thought about the matches or anything, but based on what he was talking to other people about and his attitude overall, I think he's very confident. But we'll see, though. TheBest, I'm sure, has really tried to prepare for this match. If you've got a very important match coming, if you want to make it to the round of 8, you want to get your honor back, you want to take out the guy who kicked you out of Code A, you've got to come in here confident, you've got to be ready. And look at him, there's TheBest himself. He looks ready. But Min, he's got Pocari Sweat. It increases your APM by 20% if you drink that. Alright, so, as you can see, TheBest not doing very well against Zerg recently. 1 win, 2 losses. That's 33.3% wins. Look at my stat sheet that I made. He actually has 37.5 overall in all the matches he's ever played against Zerg. And his opponent hasn't been doing that well against Terran, but, you know, neither of these guys have a lot of results recently, so these percentages are a little off, but still... Men only 33% overall, so both these guys a little bit weak in this matchup. So they're both good players, and they've played against really strong players. So as you can see, some of the losses down there in the 10 sets were MVP. So he lost to MVP twice. That's a pretty big deal. MVP is pretty good. So if that's, you know, some of your only losses against Terran or against MVP, it's not very telling to look at the win percentage. All right, so we're going to take a look at these maps. Set 1 will be on Crevasse, Set 2 is on Naga Caverns, and Set 3 will be on Crossfire. As you can see, Belshire Beach was eliminated by TheBest, and Zelnaga Fortress was eliminated by Min. Zelnaga Fortress, like I said, time and time again, the map that a lot of Zerg players just don't feel comfortable on right now, I've noticed. And I think it's because it's not a very large map, it's got a very wide open natural. Zerg players feel a little bit weird about taking a third base on that map as well. Alright guys, though, the countdown has started. It's finishing up. The map will load in a moment, and in that moment, You guys will think about who's going to win. Who do you think will take this one? Will it be the best? Will he get his revenge? Or will Min take him out in game 1 here on Crevasse? We'll find out. This is the GSL Super Tournament, round of 16.
The best for you versus Flair's Myth.
All right, down here in the bottom left, a really good Terran player on the team Foyu. Some might even say he is
The best for you.
Some people might say that. Now over here at the bottom right of the map, we've got a Slayers player who's done extremely well. Hasn't been around for very long, but is a good player. And he has been doing a lot better recently, and he's made it pretty far in this tournament. Min says, I want to go to Seoul. Thanks to LG Cinema 3D, Intel, and G-Skill. Seriously, thank those guys. If you know anyone who works for any of those companies, call them up and tell them how much you appreciate it. They know the fans really appreciate what they do, but it can't hurt to tell them too many Terrans needs more Zergs. One of our fans, he actually speaks English. I talked to him about the matches beforehand. He's a Korean, but does speak English, so I was able to talk to him a little bit. Now Min is going to come in here and scout. And guess what? He's going to see. He's going to see a very fast command center, a command center first build. In fact, that was a 14cc. You don't see that in StarCraft 2 that much because it's actually a little bit better in the short run to get that extra SCV. So you can power up a little bit. You make the command center a little bit faster, then you get that same SCV a little bit later, but you get the faster double production faster. You get the faster mule, etc., etc. From having that second command center up faster. But anyway, not to be too critical of him. I mean, he went for a 14cc instead of a 15cc. Big deal, Wolf. Now, this drone's going to come in here and see that he's getting gases very quickly as well. Both of those gases. I've seen a lot of players take the backdoor gas immediately, not necessarily taking the main gases, but he's going to be taking those. Wanted to see if he got 3. And he actually may use this drone to hide and cancel and scout a little bit later. You can do that, stealing a gas. But it looks like he doesn't want to. Not sure if he can get out. Check that wall off. Nope, not walled off, so he does escape with the drone. As you can see, Min getting very, very fast gas off of that base, not actually using it to mine any minerals. Kind of interesting. I'm going to ask one of the map makers, I wonder if that gas is a little bit closer to the hatchery or something. It kind of looks like it is. Maybe that's why people like to mine off of it faster. I'm just looking at it right now because a lot of people... Yeah, the producers actually just confirmed that it is in fact closer, so that's why people... Yeah, so I'm just being told, actually, I didn't know this to be the case. I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but I'm being told that the gas is actually closer there at the backdoor expansion. And there's only one gas, so it's not a high yield gas it used to be. Now it's just closer, so there's still an advantage of having it, a long-term advantage of having that gas closer. So I like that. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that until just now. So now the mystery is solved as to why players like to take that gas first. So very fast Baneling nest here. Min, he's been mining that gas for a long time. Did get Zergling speed, but he's going to have possibly enough Banelings to crush through here. Remember, if the best doesn't see this coming and he doesn't make a bunker blindly, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's got that tech lab. He's making siege mode immediately with that tech lab. He's got a depot there, but those are the only two things really stopping Min from just rolling in there with Banelings. In fact, he can hit both of those structures at once, break both of those down. And if he doesn't see this coming and prepare, you know what units he's got out right now? He's got 1 Marine, and that's going to be it. Min may just crush him and end the game right now. If he goes ASAP with these Zerglings, Zergling speed is about to finish. Those Zerglings just gather outside his main. Notice he keeps the 1 Zergling there to make sure nothing's coming out to scout. Wants to make sure he can keep his Banelings morphing in a place where Min, or rather the best, doesn't scout it. Nice moves here by Min. I like this. Look at that. That is actually 12 Banelings. And it may be way more than enough than what he needs to break through here. Siege mode is almost finished. Siege mode looks like it will finish before he attacks, but if he goes now, it may very well not. He's going to come, and Siege mode is going to finish. He does have 1 tank out. It's going to be pretty huge. Remember, it takes 2 tank shots, though. Does break everything down, and now the Speedlings are coming in. And that one Baneling survives. Another tank pops out. A lot of these SCVs taking a hit from it. And tank does fall down, and so will these Marines. And this may be game because Min is just rallying more and more Speedlings in here. And I think we may have one of the shortest CVTs in the history of the GSL here today. Not faster than a 6 pool, but pretty quick. And sometimes if your opponent knows what you're doing or he thinks he knows what you're doing and you play risky like this and try to get super fast siege tanks, you can just die. That Hellion can try as he might, but he cannot out-micro those Zerglings. GG! Min's like, I'm glad that worked, because if it didn't, it would have been pretty bad. But he took a risk, takes game 1. And I don't even want to say that was cheesy, but it was cheesy. It wasn't really a cheese. It was just kind of an aggressive opener that could have done damage no matter what, but as it turned out, it just ended the game, and he just followed up, making only Zerglings. Once the wall's down, you just make Speedlings and they come in there. Doesn't matter if your opponent has siege tanks, the Zerglings are just going to kill those so fast. And he was lucky that his siege mode even finished in the first place. He may have even lost that. That was a close call there. So TheBest, he doesn't look very shaken, but I bet mentally he is a little bit. He wants to take his rival out, wants to beat him down, wants to advance to the round of 8. Unfortunately for him, though, he's already 1 game down. The next map is going to be Xelnaga Caverns, which you normally see a little bit longer games on. All right, so obviously there's not a lot to analyze in that game. I usually like to spend this time of the game talking about what happened last game, but basically he just went for a really fast CC, didn't have enough units out of the hold, didn't have a bunker. His wall off was somewhat weak, and Min just killed him. You can't, a lot of Terrans forget that Zergs can do that sometimes. Got to be careful, you got to play it safe, got to make that bunker just in case. All right, so the countdown has started. Who's going to take game 2? Will TheBest reclaim his honor and defeat Min to tie it up 1-1, or will Min close it out easily on Xelnaga Caverns here at the GSL Super Tournament? I am Wolf, and this is the round of 16.